What's good? How we doing? Hope we having a great day today. Whether it's a grand rising, grand afternoon, grand night, gray afternoon, whatever time it is for you. Doesn't matter because we still working. But anyways, today I had an interesting topic that I wanted to cover that isn't very popular for good reason. But it should be. It should be known because of how much I'm just sharing information with you. I'm not telling you that I'm right or I'm wrong. This is just information. So you go do your own information. I've done my research. You go do your research. Alright? So this video is called Exposing the Transhumanism Agenda that Goes Beyond Biblical Time Periods. And so, celebrities, football players, NHL players, soccer players, actors, politicians, politicians, I wouldn't say anything that you can think of that's on the main stage, but pretty close, pretty damn near on the main stage is inverted, if you would want to call it that. Because you have to ask yourself, how do you get onto a movie? How do you get onto these main stages? How do you get millions of followers and promote twerking or promote rap music that's keeping you at an unconscious level? You have to really think logically and keep your feelings out of the way. So I said that goes beyond biblical time periods. I will get into that first to prove this and give you the information. Okay, so the main, I would say the main face of Jesus Christ, the avatar or the ego for this unconscious title is, it's ice cream. That's random. For this unconscious title is its name. What would you call it? I'll just say its name isn't even Jesus Christ for the avatar being portrayed. We're talking about the white Jesus, like on the candles and whatnot. Its name is actually Caesar Borgia, son of Pope Alexander the Sixth. Okay, and I will put my bad. I keep forgetting the what it's called, but I will put it right here. Okay, and I will get into this, and I will show other images of celebrities and other mindless, unconscious beings that you might know. Celebrities, whatever you want to call it. So there are actual trans investigators that research this topic, inverted beings. So I will kind of describe the gates and whatnot. The gate is the study of, this is basically not exact definition, but the gate is the study of being able to tell if a person is biologically a woman or biologically a man. Okay, and there's many ways to tell about this, to see, and once you kind of study it and understand it, understand it, you can tell just by the eye. You really can. It takes a while. It might take a while because it's shocking at first. I ain't gonna lie to you. So let's see what I have written down. Men's skulls plus faces are naturally wider, with a bigger face, further apart eyes, plus a wider smile. While I'm explaining this to you, I will have images across the screen so you could save it. I have the links to the Twitter channels that I get this information from, but never only get your information from one source. I have researched this topic enough to where I can kind of do I can do the, I don't want to say diagram, but I can do the research for myself. I understand intuitively now at this point where if a person is female or male. It takes a minute, but you can tell by the walk, their mannerisms, if they go off emotion. Not always, right? But because if going by emotion is, you can't do that, because there's so much foods that give estrogen to males. All right, let's just get to this. Let's just get to this. Men's shoulders are wider than their hips, opposite for females. So I don't know if I can show you. Not really, but let's do this. So a male shoulder to hip will meet about right here. A female's wider. A female's hips should be wider than their shoulders, so it should be out more than the shoulders. We'll have a photo on that as well right here. Okay, let's get into it. Let's see. Men walk with a gap facing forward at 6 o'clock. Men have a stronger brow ridge. So what is a brow ridge? All right, so I'll show you right here. A brow ridge is right here. Now, because of the shadow, I don't know if you can tell, but I'll turn my face like that and maybe you can tell. But yeah. So let's see. I'll give you kind of more of an explanation on what I already talked. Obviously men have an Adam's apple. You can't really see mine because I got a tattoo, but if I turn like this, you can see it, right? I don't know if you can see it. Men have, like I said, wider faces, bigger smiles, bigger skulls. On a man, the widest part should be on the skull should be right here, going across the nose like this. On a female, it should be about right here, I want to say. I'll have the image popped up. And on the body, on a male vessel, the other widest part will be above the crotch. You know what I'm saying? Okay. And for a female, it will be, I believe it's below the crotch. Below the crotch, yes, because they got wide hips for bearing a child. Let's see. Women will leave no space when they walk. So they walk as if they're walking. Let me fix my hair real quick, you know what I'm saying? Women will walk as if they're walking on a tightrope. And if you've seen a man walk, you know what I'm saying, they got something there. They got so they walk like they actually have that there. If you see a man walking like they're on a tightrope, like a female, if you're a male, if you're a woman, try this out. Try it out. It's in your genes. It is biological. So you cannot hide this. This is your avatar's DNA. You cannot hide this. You cannot hide this shit. And it's so exciting to learn this because everyone's been deceived before biblical time periods. And when I was talking about that, the Talmud, which is the Jewish book of law, religion book of law, and it was created on their Saturnalian timeline around I believe the 3rd century. Between this, I might be wrong, so fact check right here, okay? I should have had that written down, so that's my bad. I should have had that written down. In the Talmud, it shows 8 genders. Okay, number 1, Zakar. There's going to be a photo of this as well. Zakar, male. Number 2, Nekava, which is a female. 3, androgynous, having both male and female characteristics. Okay. Number 4, Tum-Tum, lacking sexual characteristics. Number 5, now I'm not going to lie to you, I don't really know how to pronounce this, so we're just going to flow into it. Number 5, Alonit Hama, identified female at birth, but later developing natural male characteristics. Okay? You following me? Okay. Number 6, Alonit Adam, identified female at birth, but later developing male characteristics through human intervention. Now, you may be asking yourself, how can they intervene when it's in utero? Well, if you go on Google and look up what in utero means within the womb, they're able to, I believe I have a photo of this, they're able to, and have been able to, go, so let me rephrase what I was saying. I don't remember exactly how early they're able to tell if it's a male or female within the womb, but within a certain time frame, you're able to check the woman's blood, and if there's testosterone in the woman's blood, then it's a male. If there's not, then it's a female. And I should have an image on that. If not, I apologize. Let's see. Number 7, Saris Hama, identified male at birth, but later developing natural female characteristics. And number 8, Saris Adam. Let's see. Identified male at birth, but later developing. Sorry, I'm not gonna lie, I wrote this really bad. I was not here. Identified male at birth, but later developing female characteristics through human intervention. Yeah, so. And I already told you about Caesar Borgia. I'm not sure if I'm saying that right, but you get the idea, which is the main face of the ego, Jesus, which that's a whole nother video topic that I will get into, because it's very fascinating to understand the meaning of Jesus and how it is meant to be taken mentally as such as Christ consciousness. We are both, you watching this video, we are both Jesus Christ. We are both crucified on the cross every single day, every single moment. Because the cross, you unfold the cross into Saturnalian's cube, and that's another video. Okay. So back to what I was saying. Widest part on the man is the face/skull across the nose and above the crotch. Female widest in the forehead and below the crotch. Okay. So you are able to change the gender of the baby in utero. That's insane. Okay. But you may be asking yourself, and I wrote this down, you may be asking yourself, how does an invert have a kid? Let's say a man turned into a female. A man inverted into a female. A biological man inverted into a female. Okay. Because it gets confusing sometimes. There's a thing called a uterus transplant. Okay. And I'll have a photo right here. I might have one or two, but boom. Alright, there you go. Save it, whatever. The uterus, okay, so this is how the uterus transplant works. This is the step-by-step guide. Alright. Number 1, the uterus is removed from a deceased/living donor. Who knows where they're getting that? Who knows? Child trafficking, human trafficking. It's sad. That's another video too. Number 2, resupplied with blood. The uterus is resupplied with blood. Number 3, the organ is transplanted into recipient. Oh, okay, that was it. Number 4, recipient starts a course of immune support medications. Yes. Number 5, a fertilized egg is placed into the uterus via IVF, which means in vitro fertilization. And IVF is basically a fertility treatment that involves combining a woman's egg and sperm in a lab dish to create an embryo, which is then transferred to the woman's uterus via maybe a needle or however you would go about doing that. Number 6, the patient undergoes a C-section at 37 to 40 weeks gestation. Number 7, the patient can undergo one more pregnancy if she wishes. If not, the uterus is surgically removed. And number 8, they stop taking immune suppressants. And you might be saying to yourself, that sounds crazy. I've never heard of that before. Well, let me teach you. Let me guide you into understanding. This ego called Lily Elby, I'm not sure if I'm saying that right, but you get the message, all right? Lily Elby was one of the earliest recipients of sex rearrangement surgery. The final surgery involved a uterus transplant and construction of an artificial vagina. She died shortly after from heart paralysis. And this ego was born on 1882, and she later died on 1931. Okay, so that's one of the first recorded uterine transplants, surgeries. She was actually one of the first transgender, publicly transgender people, but I'm not too sure on that. I know she was, or he, I don't even know, but hey, I'm gonna show you the photos right here, you know what I'm saying? I'll show you what I got. And I will also show you a photo right here, which is the world's first baby conceived with remotely operated, the first baby conceived with remotely operated automated IVF. IVF meaning in vitro fertilization. And that's an article. I'll put it right here. So yeah, they've been doing this for, that's honestly just a short, very, very, very short explanation. It's really something that shocked me and it was almost like another spiritual awakening. It basically was, because of the level of knowledge or remembrance I understood when I was introduced to this. The Twitters that I got this from were Son of Man and Skull and Gate. Also, Divine Messenger on YouTube, which introduced me into this. So I just want to shout them out, shout where I got this information from. But yeah, it's very shocking information, and you can even do gematria on these whoever, celebrities, their egos. You can do gematria on them, and inversion or inverted or whatever the case may be may pop up. Most likely will, and I will have receipts right here. If you don't know about gematria, I explained it, but basically it's about turning words into numbers, because all languages originate from numbers. The universe speaks through numbers, and sorry, my bad. The universe speaks through numbers, and there's a lot of different types of gematria formats that you can do. You can go from A to Z, starting from A to 1, and Z to, it was 26, 24, 26, something like that, right? You can also go reverse reduction, I believe that's what it's called, or reverse, which goes from Z being 1 and A 26. You can go Sumerian, which I believe they times their numbers by 6. So I have a video explaining this with my laptop. It explains it so much better. It's on my YouTube. I'm not really remembering right now. But Sumerian times it by 6, or it was 66. I believe it was one of those. I don't want to give out false information, so I will make another gematria video. Gematria is still something I'm understanding. I get the concept, and I understand how these correlate, because my intuition understands that numbers are created from, not numbers, letters are created from numbers. Letters are created from numbers. Languages are created from numbers. And yeah, that's, gematria was interesting too. Gematria, when I first understood that was a whole nother loop. It was like, okay, the remembrance or evolution of self. The path of loving yourself is infinite. It really is. The knowledge you can learn is infinite. It really is. And that's a very beautiful thing to understand that. But yeah, that's all I really got for this video. But I will double check and I will go over some things just to make sure. Wow, that wasn't. See, there's transhumanism, okay? Not only is it, I would say, shown to you through celebrities and these public figures. Oh my bad, my phone battery is about to die. Public figures, but through the LGBTQ community, the agenda that they have, and AI transhumanism, which we see now happening. Which, if you were aligned with your higher self, you would have known this was coming, especially with the meaning of 2025 and being the year of the 9 and all that stuff. But first, let's talk about LGBTQ plus agenda. I don't have too much on that, but I've heard of drag queens being invited into schools or classrooms promoting, what is the word? Promoting, oh, that's not the word I'm trying to say. Schools or classrooms promoting not bisexualness, but promoting, come on, higher self, come on. Promoting LGBTQ, I'll just say that. LGBTQ. Transgenderism. Promoting that. And when a child is young, they really don't know themselves, because you have everlasting growth. And if we're talking about biologically, the brain isn't developed fully until men and women is different. But when you're a kid, you're mostly run by the ego. You're not going to be able to, you're not going to be able to tell what you are attracted to, and that could be easily manipulated. So I said drag queens coming into schools, hanging up LGBTQ flags, and the LGBTQ flag, that flag is basically, not even basically, it is what it is. It's an inverted chakra system. They want you flipped upside down more than we already are living in this Luciferian realm temporarily, physically. And so what goes into that? They want the root chakra at the top instead of the crown chakra. So they want you to be in your urges. They want you to promote. They want you to act in your lustful nature. They want you to act on your ego. They want you to act on your emotions. They want you to act on, I said that already. They want you to act on your lustful nature. So if you really think about it, LGBTQ, that whole community, and not even if you think about it, because there's evidence out there, it promotes and I want to say protects pedophiles. I'm not gonna lie to you. There's honestly a lot of pedophiles in that community. And it's disgusting. Now, I'm not here to offend anyone. If you are trans, love yourself. Obviously, love yourself. Love yourself for what you are. Because at the end of the day, we're not even here. We're not even here physically. Physically we're here, but spiritually we're not here. That's what I meant to say. So, love what you are. Accept yourself for what you are. Accept yourself for what you are. If you're inverted, accept yourself for who you are. Accept yourself for who you are. It's that easy. You just gotta love yourself. We're all on the same path. It's not a competition. And I wanted to number 3, AI transhumanism. So, like I said, we already see it. I'll play a video, if I can put it right here, of in a robots person. But you could contradict that, because you could say a unconscious vessel is a robot, just like sport players. You know, they play on a script. They're not living their truth. They're living out the script for Freemasonic orders, higher orders, elites, whatever you want to call it. Freemasonic agenda. Because they're all Freemasons. And that's another video. Okay, AI transhumanism. I wrote down a couple documentaries / movies, because every movie is a documentary, that resemble AI transhumanism. Ghost in the Shell is an anime movie. It came out in 1996. Great movie. It shows cyborgs. From the physical eye until they start. I forget what happens in the movie, but it's about this cyborg lady, and she's having. This Ghost in the Shell is named after a. I'll put it right here. I forget right now. But it's named after, I wouldn't call it a condition, because if you're labeling yourself with this condition, then you will be this. But I will say, obviously, there are some things that you may have. Anyways, Ghost in the Shell, I Am Robot, They Live. If you haven't seen They Live, go see They Live, because They Live is a perfect example of what we live in today and have been living in the present moments. Basically, this dude, he comes across this church and they're making these glasses, but when he puts the glasses on, he sees the deception for what it is and not what it is seen from the physical eyes. Basically, he puts the glasses on and his higher self or intuition is like that. It's on go mode. So he sees billboards. It says, instead of it saying what it says, the average advertisement, it says consume. It'll say get married, have kids, buy this, buy that. And even when he looks at certain people, it'll be, the skull will be a robot. And the video I just showed you is a perfect example of that. How long has this been going on? If you really think about it, it's before the creation of time. It's before that. Because I'm trying to think from the perspective of the higher dimensional entities, that puppet masters, or what is it called in the Bible? It's called principalities, virtues, and dominions. The last one I'm iffy on, but principalities and virtues and dominions. So these non-physical angelic entities are the beings who run over these are the beings who have control over this made up society, run by money, the physical currency, paper, dollar. It has no currency, but in this society, or this Luciferian empire, it does. So that's basically it. I mean, it's definitely a lot to take in. My version of the explanation isn't fully in depth of the topic, but I just want to be able to explain it to you to the point to where it sparks this thought in your brain, and you go and do your research, and you see, let's say you watch the WNBA, and you are looking into who is actually a male and who's actually a female, which, to be honest with you, they're all males in the WNBA, and in but in the NBA, they're all females. See how confusing it confuses the ego? It's so confusing. It's so confusing. But let's say you're studying this, you watch WNBA, you will see these people, these beings' mannerisms, the way they act, the way they talk, the way they walk, the way they move, the way they sway their hips, the way they sway their arms, the way their skull looks. They aren't what they're perceiving themselves to be. They're not what they are portraying themselves to be. And they're lying to you. So by spreading this message, I hope that I'm able to spark a thought within you, within self, because we're all just the same spiritually. We're all just the same spiritually. Physically, yeah, we have different colors. Yeah, we're different heights, different eye colors, different hair types, whatever, and so forth. But spiritually, we are the same. And I hope you understand that, because you should be, because you hating on someone else is you hating on yourself. I said this in the last video. When you talk bad about someone else, the subconscious doesn't realize the difference between you talking to someone else and you talking to yourself. Because when you spellcast, especially through the English language, because the English language is, anyways, that's another video too. So many videos coming up in my brain. Thank you, higher self. But I want to say thank you for tuning in for this message. If you stayed this long, I want to thank you. I am becoming more consistent with these uploads. I really want to be able to convey the messages that I have to you so I can spark this thought within you. Do your own research. I am neither right nor wrong. It's all perspective. Life is about perspective. Alright, so I hope you guys have a great day, great night, great afternoon, whatever time it is for you. I love you. Peace.